is ABC-7 at 5.
No park zone! No park zone! No park zone! No park zone!
Hundreds of students in Las Cruces walk out of class today. It was the first day of the testing for the new state-mandated park test. These students tell our New Mexico Mobile Newsroom teachers and administrators have lost sight of what's important because they're caught up teaching to the test. Good afternoon and thank you for joining us on ABC-7 at 5. I'm Rick Cabrera.
And I'm Estela. Casas. ABC-7's Josie Ortegon is standing by with a live report on the massive student walkout. But first, a storm track weather first alert. It has been raining on and off for most of the day. It's been cold and it's been breezy. We can expect more of the same over the next 3 days. And it's going to get a lot colder. Chief Meteorologist Doppler Speelman joins us live with our first forecast. Hi, Doppler.
Yeah, hi there, Estela. Yeah, we certainly have that first alert in place. Certainly seeing some rain out there. Nothing real heavy. But, you know, once we move into the month of March, we begin our driest part of our season. You know, March and April, very dry. So this is kind of unusual for us to be seeing some of this rain this early on. But take a look at what we're going to be discussing for tonight. We'll have some showers passing by. Not everybody's going to get extremely wet tonight. Rain chance is going to continue into at least tomorrow morning. Likely going to dry out a little bit as we look ahead to tomorrow night. And then Thursday, here comes the next system, Wednesday night and Thursday. Colder. We'll even have a chance for some rain and some snow. There's a look at Doppler radar right now. You can see some of that light rain moving to the northeast. We'll take a closer look and your specifics to your forecast. That's all coming up, Estela.
Okay, Doppler, thank you. Hundreds of students walked out of class today in Las Cruces in protest of mandatory state testing. ABC-7 Josie Ortegon is live from our New Mexico Mobile Newsroom. Josie.
Estela, a movement that united several hundred Las Cruces students and dozens of parents today. Our New Mexico Mobile Newsroom crew was all over Las Cruces at every single high school, and the largest group that we saw was here at Mayfield High School. Students lined along Valley Drive here, carrying signs and chanting together. Now, it was the same scene at Las Cruces High, Alma de Arte Charter School, and Oñate and Centennial High Schools. Some students are against the newly implemented park exam. It replaces portions of the standards-based assessment, and administrators say this test is harder. Parents did have the opportunity to opt their child out of taking the test, but sophomores and juniors need to pass it to graduate. These parents say it's unfair to pressure teachers and students. And one tells us she's okay with her daughter, a Mayfield High School student, not getting a diploma.
She will not be taking the test for all through elementary and middle schools. I opted her out of the test. Once they get to high school, it's a lot harder because they do say it's required for graduation. The more I'm researching, the more I'm okay with her getting a certificate of completion.
And it doesn't seem like anything will change anytime soon. A spokeswoman for the Public Education Department told me last week it would be against the law to drop a state exam. They are required to give an annual assessment under federal and state law. Live in Las Cruces with our New Mexico Mobile Newsroom, Josie Ortegon, ABC-7.
Okay, Josie, thank you very much. A Fort soldier dies while serving in Eastern Africa. ABC-7 has been able to confirm with officials on post that Private First Class Jerome Swaggart died last Thursday. The cause of his death is still under investigation. Platoon leader Stephen Molinar said in a statement, quote, "Private First Class Swaggart was one of the best and brightest soldiers in my platoon. It's men like him that made me join and proud to serve in the Army. It's a highest honor to have served with him."
El Paso County is cracking down on waste and corruption. Back in February, sheriff's deputies arrested the former park manager at Escalante Park, Ray Chavez. He's accused of embezzling more than $20,000 collected from the rental of softball field at Escalante. A month before that, deputies arrested Myra Navarrete, a former account clerk at the park. She is suspected of stealing parking fees paid by those attending events at Escalante Park, then allegedly forging and altering documents to cover up the crime. Last week, we told you how county commissioners voted to get the ball rolling on a hotline county employees and the public can call to report waste and corruption. Today, more action to prevent what allegedly happened at Escalante Park. ABC-7's Andrew J. Polk joins us live. with new information. Andrew.
Rick, commissioners approved $200,000 in improvements and a lengthy list of policy changes, all geared towards standardizing operations and removing the opportunity and with it the temptation for fraud and theft. Now, visitors to the park won't see too many changes right off the bat, but when the new standardized fees and procedures go into place May 1st, the county expects things to be more consistent, efficient, and safe, both for people visiting and employees. Now, to get there, 14 major procedures are changing, including how employees handle fees and clock in and out for the day. Standardized toll hours are being enacted Friday through Sunday and for special events, and one extra position is being put into place to cover all that time. The policies will be backed up with nearly $200,000 worth of improvements to locks, security alarms, and cameras, and technology to strengthen accountability. And the improvements will cover all areas of the park where money is handled, not just the gate.
The golf course, the swimming pool, the pavilion, and at the gate. And so this makes sure that we get computerized, we have IT in there so that everything is automated and that it's similar to what we're doing in our other county facilities.
Now, coming up at 6, we'll hear more about how the changes to how the county will be doing business at the park and how it's meant to change the culture to prevent this from happening again in the future. Rick?
All right, Andrew, thank you very much. Why isn't the U.S. Army helping the Iraqis reclaim Saddam Hussein's hometown from ISIS? Well, today a Pentagon official said it's because the U.S. hasn't been asked to. Today, the Iraqi Army decided to attack Islamic State militants who took over the northern town Tikrit. If successful, the Iraqis will be able to use this to launch future missions to take away more territory from ISIS. In the meantime, potential presidential hopeful Rick Perry thinks the U.S. should work harder to stop ISIS. Perry says it's a matter of protecting American values.
There might be people watching this saying, okay, here's a Texas governor who wants to be in the White House, who wants to send U.S. troops to the Middle East. Before, what would you say?
I would suggest to them that I have the background and the ability to make decisions on my own. And I think if American and Western values are in jeopardy and U.S. troops working with a coalition force is how you stop ISIS, I think the bulk of the American people are going to say, thank you, Mr. President, for standing up for our values. Thank you for stopping this face of evil.
Tikrit fell to the Islamic State group last summer, along with the country's second largest city of Mosul and other areas in Iraq's Sunni heartland.
Civil rights leaders in Los Angeles are demanding answers after police shoot and kill a homeless man. This happened yesterday. Police were responding to a robbery and they were trying to detain the man. Witnesses say he resisted and the officers tried to get him under control with a taser. Police say the man allegedly grabbed an officer's gun during the struggle. Some are calling for an independent investigation to look into whether the officers broke any laws. The police commissioner, however, is standing by his men.
I have reviewed the video and the audio.
Oh my God!
Preliminarily, you can hear the young officer who is primarily engaged in the confrontation saying that he has my gun. He has my gun, and he says it several times.
The police commission president says the independent inspector general and the district attorney have already begun investigations.
New at 5, a judge sentences a convicted child rapist to 21.5 years in prison. Our New Mexico Mobile Newsroom told you about 35-year-old Jason Reyes last year. Reyes not only had sex with a 13-year-old boy, but also allowed his own boyfriend to have sex with the boy. The conviction resulted in a 31.5-year sentence. The judge gave Reyes a break, subtracting 10 years. The trial for Reyes' boyfriend and co-defendant, Juan Antonio Serrano, is scheduled to begin next week.
A taste of March Madness at the high school level.
We're talking about one of the biggest high school basketball games in our city's history.
It has to be considered one of our most outstanding achievements.
You heard a lot about Mayweather fighting Pacquiao. Well, these two teams are literally El Paso's pound-for-pound kings of the hardwood. And in this game, in fact, this game is so big it needed to be played in a special venue. Also,
we got these giant boxes and we decorated them with paper and like beautiful boxes, and students would donate them.
Why are El Dorado students decorating boxes? ABC-7's Nicole Gomez unpacks the story next. And in Storm Talk Weather, Doppler.
Well, we're certainly tracking some rain across the area. The rain continues to move in a northeasterly direction. We'll take a look at Doppler radar. Have your forecast, that first alert. some big changes coming our way. That's all coming up.
This is ABC 7 at 5, where news comes first.